The truck park is completed and the plots are serviced. The next one as well, relating to over budgeting, management will endeavor to prepare realistic budgets and sensitize the communities. The next two are almost similar to the other one that I've read, Chair, and with your permission, I can proceed to the next query.
You can go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. The next query, Chair, relates to, again, it's a matter that is speaking to CDF, and as guided earlier, I'll skip that part, Chair. The issues with CDF. And I'll go to the issue on page 18, the bottom of page 18, which is addressing overemployment of staff. And the cause of the query was due to the transfer of another procurement officer to Chinsari Municipal Council by the Local Government Service Commission. Action taken by the controlling officer, management engaged the Local Government Service Commission on those stated dates, notifying them on overstaffing under the procurement unit. The commission has since transferred one of the officers to Shuangandu Town Council. We've attached the appendix. Remedial measures, management will endeavor to engage the commission whenever the council is overemployed. Appendix 16, failure to fill vacant positions. The cause of the query was due to unfilled position by the Local Government Service Commission at the time of the audit. Action taken, management wishes to report that the commission was engaged and various positions that are critical for the efficient and effective operations of the council, such as civil engineer, valuation officer, assistant valuation officer, assistant accountant, socio-economic planner, and assistant land surveyor, were filled by the Local Government Service Commission. The commission is further handling the matter through staff transfers and recruitments, as highlighted in the recent job advert number 2 of 2023. Remedial measures, management will endeavor to be in constant touch with the commission to ensure that key positions are filled as they fall vacant. Appendix 17, relating to employees without requisite qualifications. The cause of the query was due to upgraded qualifications for the positions as per job descriptions and lack of requisite qualifications. Action taken by the controlling officer. Management reports that the officers were engaged in writing so that they can upgrade their qualifications as guided by the commission through minute circular number, that circular minute highlighted there, where it was further guided that officers shall be maintained on the current salary grade even before they do their upgrades. Remedial measures, management will endeavor to encourage members of staff to upgrade their academic and professional qualifications. Appendix 20, failure to secure properties with title deeds. The cause of the query was due to delayed responses that we got from the Surveyor General with regard to the survey diagrams. Action taken by the controlling officer. Management has since started the processing of title deeds for the council houses which are at offer stage. Further, management has also written to the Surveyor General requesting for survey diagrams for the plots. We've attached the appendix to this memorandum. Appendix 22, failure to maintain council properties. Failure to maintain council properties. The cause of the query was, sorry, Chair, I can't, I think we didn't complete that. It was due to insufficient funds, but I can't see the, with your permission, Chair, I can be allowed to just include that. Was due to, the cause of the query was due to insufficient funds. Action taken by the controlling officer. Management has applied for funding under CDF to build a new fire station under the 2025 CDF. Remedial measures. Management will endeavor to build a new fire station under the 2025 CDF funding once the 2025 CDF is approved. A query on Appendix 23, poor management of waste. Poor management of waste. There is a table attached as well, and I'll read the cause of the query and then the remedial measures. The first query relates to open air burning, and the cause of the query in that regard is that there is low awareness on the part of the local community about the dangers of open air burning. There is also a desire by those who pick waste, a desire for metallic recyclables for the purposes of resale. And of course, we don't have off-takers who are able to do the recycling of plastics. So this is causing most of those issues. Action taken, I think I'll skip that, but the remedial measures and management to endeavor to engage the community to raise awareness on environmental hazards at the dump site, as well as explore innovative waste management solutions for value addition. With regard to non-compacting of waste, the cause of the query is that insufficient funds to hire appropriate equipment for waste compaction, as well as land filling at the dump site. Remedial measure, management to endeavor to explore ways to maximize revenue collections to meet operational costs, including dump site maintenance. With regard to unfenced dump site, it is also a query was due to insufficient funds to meet costs of the fencing. And the remedial measure is that management will endeavor to expedite meeting the requirements to secure technical and other support from the ministry. The next query, Chair, relates to Appendix 24, which is the failure to establish and maintain cemeteries. The cause of query. The cause of the query was due to, I think this is a matter that we didn't clarify properly with our colleagues, the auditors. I think that's why we're saying non-engagement of management on the matter with auditors, but that has been done. Action taken by the controlling officer. Management through the council approved the establishment of the cemetery in 2019, and the cemetery is actually functional and is maintained. Management to endeavor, remedial measures, management to endeavor to ensure that the cemetery is continuously maintained. Appendix 28, failure to settle statutory and other obligations. Cause of the query was due to insufficient funds. Action taken by the controlling officer. Management has since paid 505,932.08 as at 31st December towards these obligations. Remedial measure, management to endeavor to increase the council's revenue base and prepare a realistic debt liquidation plan to ensure that statutory and other obligations are paid. A query relating to Appendix 29, failure to settle staff obligations. The cause of the query was due to insufficient funds. Action taken by the controlling officer. Management has since paid 518,695.74 from the outstanding balance as at 31st December 2024. Remedial measures, management will endeavor to increase the revenue base of the council and ensure that staff obligations are paid as and when the funds are available. Appendix 31 relates to the management of the Local Government Equalization Fund. The cause of the query was due to the use of the said funds to pay salaries. Chair, I think I mentioned this even earlier in one of the queries before this. And the action taken, management has since paid back 598,021.76, and the remedial measure, management will endeavor to increase its revenue base of the council and ensure that the outstanding amount is paid back. Appendix 35 of the report relating to lack of a rescue ambulance and marine rescue equipment. The cause of the query was due to the fact that the said items were not planned for in 2023, were not budgeted for in 2023. Action taken, there is no action that has been taken. On the remedial measures, management will endeavor to leverage on CDF funding to procure a rescue ambulance and marine rescue equipment. Chair, that is the last query, and I present our responses as presented. Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you very much, Town Clerk, and honorable members. We can now ask our points of clarifications. Honorable member from Fumbwe.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, for giving me this time just to interrogate this report. I want to thank you, Town Clerk, for your report. However, I have actually some few issues to look at. I take you to page 11. Page 11 through you, Chair.
Yes.
Yes, the query is actually compliance with rules and regulations. And in this case, we have an issue, the query failure to withhold value-added tax. We've seen actually most of the councils, they are failing actually to follow these regulations. So, from Chinsali, they are telling us that the reason why they failed to get the withholding tax is because they are not agents. That is the first one. However, I take you to Appendix 11.
Let's go to Appendix 11.
Mind you, we are talking about compliance with rules and regulations. This circular came to the councils on the same value, withholding of value-added tax. They decided actually to adhere to the first part or the instructions, but they didn't. If they did, I want CSU to demonstrate to this that you adhered to this instruction. Because the same instruction on 2, it says, each local authority must on a monthly basis send a schedule, and this schedule is supposed to be sent to Acting Director VAT. Of course, the names may have changed on monthly basis. And on 3, the same copy should be sent to the Minister of Local Government, and the email address is there. Now, Chinsali Council has just told us on the action taken that the authority has no urgency. I want to find out whether they adhered to those instructions from their ministry, whether they've been doing that. That is number 1. Number 2, on failure to remit tax. On the same page, we can go to the following. I want to find out from CS and your team. I want you to demonstrate to this committee how the tax was deducted and how much was deducted and how much was remitted. Then from there, maybe let me finish all the questions that I have. They are almost related.
Okay.
So that I don't come again. Let's go to page 22. On page 22, this is actually failure to settle statutory and other obligations. Now, we have this outstanding obligation of 20 million. Out of 20 million, Chair, the council only managed to pay 505 from the outstanding of 20 million. Now, my question is, how are you going to do it if you could only manage to liquidate 500 out of 20 million? What plans have you put in place to satisfy this committee that indeed you are committed to settling these statutory obligations? Because from the look of things here, it looks like they are almost actually failing. And also they've reported to you, to this committee, that they intend to prepare a realistic debt liquidation plan to ensure that statutory and other obligations are paid. I would like to find out from them how they intend to do that, or whether that realistic debt liquidation plan is available and when it is going to be prepared. The last one. We've also got the same, it's almost similar. We have another issue to do with failure to settle staff obligations. The same way they did it on the other one, they've paid very little. Now the question is, and also, I want to find out when they made this payment. Because according to me, they had to wait to be queried and to come and appear before this committee. And that's when they were hurrying and hurriedly they decided to make a payment on the date which is actually shown there. If they could only pay 518 the whole year, can they demonstrate to us that indeed they are very serious and they are going to pay the remaining 6.6 million within a reasonable time? Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you so much, Town Clerk. I hope you took note of those questions. You are at liberty to ask your colleagues to help you where you feel like. You can go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Of course, I'll share the responses through with my colleagues. I think the Director of Finance, represented by the Chief Accountant, will make a comment on the failure to remit tax and the questions that came there. The issue of failure to follow the rules and regulations regarding the VAT and withholding tax, the procurement officer will help me. I think the Director of Finance will still deal with the statutory obligations. I'll answer the first part, demonstration and to show how we've addressed the issue of staff obligations and also the debt that is there. I wish to mention, Chair, that the debt that Chinsali owes with regard to statutory obligation is actually very historical. It has been there for a very long time. But over time, because of what we have raised in the other queries with due to lack of finances, what has been happening is that we have been paying very small amounts. And that's why in our response here we are saying we want to make something which will be realistic, meaning that we want to address this problem, because we have also identified that what we are paying is not adequate. And we need to make sure that we move forward in terms of ensuring that more is allocated to this. There is a document that has been prepared, and I have it here, which I can share with you, Chair, which itemizes the strategies that we've put in place to address this problem that we have. And these problems relate to the low financial base of the municipality. So we can only address this if we address what we have addressed, or what we have talked about. And I want to mention that in the same document we have highlighted that the salaries arrears for the workers at Chinsali go back as 2019 up to 2022, somewhere there. But I want to assure you that for 2024 we have no arrears, and going forward we don't want to have arrears. So that's why we're saying we want to now start addressing these other issues that are behind. So that is the position, but I will ask my colleagues to speak to specifically to the issues that have been addressed, raised in terms of failure to remit and also the other specific obligation.
Maybe a clarification. You just said that Chinsali outstanding salaries or arrears date back to 2019. How many months are those arrears or years?
The cumulative months are 9. So you find that in 2019 there were 2 months, in 2020 maybe 1 month, 2021 3 months, but when you add them cumulatively from 2019 to 2022, they are now 9.
So on the same salary arrears? Okay, let me ask Honorable Mulunda to ask.
It's not on salaries, but just what I'm reacting to his submission now on the date. I wanted to find out, Chair, because he's indicating that this date is historical, we appreciate, but I wanted to find out when he went to Chinsari and the date he found, and then what has he done in dismantling that date? Is it only this 500, or they have been, as a council committed, they have been doing that?
Thank you very much. So when did you go to Chinsali, Town Clerk?
Thank you, Chair. I went in July last year. I went in July last year, and I think the time I went, I found is it 1 month or 2 months arrears. So I was indicating that by 2024 at the end we have no arrears. So which means even the arrears I found, we dealt with them. So what we are saying now is that we want to deal with what is the backlog, but we can't do it very fast because we have a constraint in terms of our cash position. So that's why we're saying we need to.
So on the salary arrears, that's a clarification I wanted. You are now got no salary arrears, just on salary arrears.
Chair, for the year 2024, we don't have an arrear.
No, I'm just asking. What do you define? How do you define what is defined as arrears?
Yes, Chair. There are two components in the salary. There is what we call the gross salary and the net salary. So on the net salary, we have 9 months arrears. Also on the gross salary, we have also some unremitted statutory obligations. So we still have those that we have not remitted, but also directed to the employees. We have not also paid them for the 9 months that I mentioned.
What I mean by the definition of salary arrears, everything from 2019 outstanding, if not paid to employees, are they not salary arrears? If they are accumulating, they have accumulated up to, what have you accumulated up to last month or December 2024? This is January. What is still outstanding on salaries?
Yes, Chair, what is outstanding is what I would say the remittances to statutory obligations.
Salary arrears are paid.
Yes, the salary. The
You are
salary
up to date now.
in terms of 2024, yes, but for backwards, as I was explaining, we still have.
Town clerk, you are not helping your committee. A local authority is a going concern. Why do you want to deal with 2024? You are spoiling the game. We are asking you specific questions. Whether there are 20, you took over the council. What you inherited is still outstanding. I'm asking a direct question. How many months are still outstanding in terms of salaries and wages?
Yes, Chair, I mentioned 9 months.
That's the answer I wanted.
Yes.
Chinsari Council owes workers 9 months salary arrears. That is the position we should put across. Because those that you found in 2023 and before, they are also owed to people. And you need to find the formula for it. You cannot start segregating, say, no, this is 2024, we're up to date. Actually, the way you are supposed to dismantle these arrears, you can't say we just started 2024. That was the wrong formula. You start from, you age the date. You deal with the former. Then you come up to 2024, you move like that. You can't abandon that and say, no, let's start from 2024. That is a wrong concept, I feel. So we have 9 months salary arrears. We have also outstanding statutory obligations. That is the position we wanted to this committee to be assisted, so that as we do our report, we do a proper report. So, Honorable Munda.
On the same, Chair, my question actually was arising from page 22 on the statutory obligations, because my colleague asked as to why, well, how are you going to dismantle this if out of 20 million you're only able to pay 500,000? How long will it take? So my question basically was not on the salaries. I wanted to find out on this same statutory obligations, if it's 20 million, how much did you find and what have you done from the time? I thought maybe you've been there for 2 years or something. But what plans have you put? Is this the only payment that you have made towards that, or you have been paying? Thank you, Chair.
Dave.
Thank you, Chair. As regards to statutory obligations, we've had some engagement with NAPSA, and as regards to with we have and also sat back. We have in 2022 we had engaged our parent ministry of course, requesting through Ministry of Finance with amnesty, and 2.8 million was assisted in repayment of pay as you earn to ZRA. As regards to NAPSA, discussions are ongoing. We've engaged our parent ministry for amnesty, and we've been promised after the consolidation that the ministry is working on the bailout package. We are not also sitting idle as council. We have also agreed with NAPSA to be paying 10,000 every month, of which effective January 2025, we are starting to that arrangement of paying 10,000 every month.
Let's have Honorable Kamondo.
You have just told the committee that you have made plans with ZRA that you'll be paying 20,000 per month. Is that right?
Yes.
Let's go to Appendix 25. Appendix 25. The appendices. Are you there, Chair?
Yes, I am here.
The first one, actually, when you look at that, Chinsali, accumulatively they owe NAPSA 12 million, 12 point something, and ZRA 9 point something. The witness has just told this committee that they had agreed to be paying 20,000. But when you look at this, for NAPSA it says with effect from January. But with ZRA it looks like they had already started paying. But when you look at this schedule, they've not paid anything. What is your, how can you reconcile your figures?
Thank you so much, Chair. Just to add on to what the officer is telling your committee chair, that they have made the agreements to be paying this. Is there any written documentation to your discussions with these bodies and your agreements? Because I've gone through the appendix, I haven't seen any such kind of an agreement. I submit, Chair.
Thank you. Acting Director of Finance.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. As regards to the agreements, yes, the written documents are there, but we did not attach them, but they can be availed.
That you can delegate. Yeah, DF. The question that Honorable Kamondo asked Town Clerk, the question that he asked, is it, why is it that local authorities will only reflect any simple payment before appearing to this committee? On the 5th of January, you paid something that you have attached. Is it Appendix 27? You have explained very well and stated the challenges that the Chinsali Council is going through. But in your quest to show the will to dismantle these huge debts, why don't you do something in a small way, monthly or quarterly? But you only make a few days before coming here. That's when you do these things and make payments. Why is this culture a common culture in the local authorities? Town clerk.
Thank you, Chair. I think I alluded to the fact that yes, we are not doing very well. That's why we want to do something which is realistic, because the promises are not actually, we undertake a promise, we don't actually actualize it. That's why we're saying we want to do something that we can do, as you are saying, or whether small, and that at least we are paying a 1 kwacha towards these obligations.
Correct.
And that is the direction we want to take, Chair.
This committee is not there to force you to collect that which is not there. This committee is to ensure that we are consistent with what we do. Even in the challenges that you have, amidst those challenges, you should be able to make an effort. As you engage the ministry, you're able to make an effort. But just a few days before coming here, let's say, no, have we done something? Get something. We pay so that they go and see. It is becoming a routine and a culture that needs to be stopped. Meaning that just from here, you go and throw away everything. Just wait for another fixture. When are we going? Have we made a payment? This is what we are saying year in, year out. It's not good attitude. So this town clerk should come to an end. Respond to the earlier questions that Honorable Kamondo asked. He asked a number of questions that you need to respond to. The issue of withholding tax.
Yes, Chair. The issue of withholding tax, I think I'll be assisted by the procurement officer with regard to the second issues that were raised, whether we were able to send the copies that were required. I'm aware that there was a one-off schedule that was sent of all the contractors that we had contracted under CDF, but the procurement officer can assist, highlight if that was consistently done.
Procurement officer.
Hello. Hello. According to hello. According to the limitation of VAT through what they requested, we started to do that, not inconsistent, but we started to do, because when you look at the same suppliers, there are others who are not registered for VAT, others they are registered for VAT. So there was even a meeting which they were guided by ZRI to tell that others they are TOT and the others they are VAT registration, and they were guided. That is what I can highlight on limitation and the withholding of tax. 3/4 of our contractors are TOT registered, not VAT registration.
Honorable members? Yes, Honorable Kamondo.
CS, one of the queries which is very important and which you are trying to ignore is compliance with the rules and the regulations. These are instructions and it's part of law. So when you are given instructions, I thought maybe the best thing that you can demonstrate yourselves as a council is to follow them. Because this is the same things that you do to the people of Chinsari. You tell them, if you don't do this, if you don't pay, we are going to close the shops. Now, you as a council, you are failing to follow these rules and regulations. how do you expect actually the people of Chinsari? And I told you, please kindly demonstrate that you did it. And that's what we are looking for. Yes, with the withholding tax, he has explained. But what is it that you are doing in order to make sure that you comply with the rules and the regulations? Because this is very important.
Procurement. Or town clerk.
Yes, Chair. I think one of the issues that were raised in the response from the procurement officer was that with regard to value-added tax, I think there was an engagement to indicate that most of our suppliers or contractors in the district are non-VAT registered. So that was the reason why maybe the second part in terms of the instruction on the circular was not consistently followed, because those suppliers was discovered they are not VAT registered. But we agree that we need to follow rules and regulations, and we want to assure you, Chair, that we have to continue doing that so that we are compliant in terms of these rules and regulations. But however, with regard to that item, I think that was the major issue, and we had the conversations with our colleagues from Auditor General over this matter, and I'm sure they will be able to clarify it as well. Thank you.
There was a question on the cemetery. Okay. Before Honorable Kamondo.
Thank you, Chair. The list actually, some of the questions, I think I leave it with you. As you'll be concluding, maybe you can try to settle them with them. However, the other concern, just like you said, why should they be prompted by this committee because they've been asked to come here? You have already actually talked about that. But one observation also, Chinsari Council is very fast to pay fire SUS, Zulao, ZCTU, and also there is another one there, maybe LASIF. But when you look at NIMA, there is nothing. When you look at ZRA, there is nothing. NAPSA, there is nothing, even when they have made those arrangements. What is it that is prompting them to honor these others and leaving the rest? And if you look at the amounts of money that are involved, they would be doing better if at least they are able to spread them according to what they are supposed to pay. But not being selective, as you can see here. They are being selective. These they are not paying, and these they are paying. What is it that they are doing so that this thing, the payment plan, can become realistic? This one is not realistic.
Why are you being selective in paying statutory contributions? Just because you belong to LASIF, you favor LASIF than NAPSA? Because you are about to exit? Why is it that you are favoring others? On a lighter note, why are you favoring others and leaving others unattended to? NIMA is limping. And when we have challenges, we lose our beloved ones, you want to let them go to NIMA, and NIMA has no money to pay for them. Why are we doing that?
Thank you, Chair. Of course, we are not being selective, but the situation is that most of these that you are seeing, that some amounts are quite huge that has been paid. These are direct deductions at source from the local government equalization fund. So that's why we are saying we need, in one of our proposals, is that we need to include these others so that they can also be deducting at source, so that it is also, whether it is minimal, but at least we'll be making some contribution. So you see Zulao, Fire SUS, LASIF, and I think there should be another one that the ministry, before they send the equalization, they will first deduct and then they send us the balance. But again, This is just to support us, but we should also, as I said earlier, we need to deliberately, from our own source revenue, we need to deliberately have that plan, that every month consistently, no matter how little the amounts are, but at least there will be a change at the end
So
of the
that
day.
will reduce on these things which are accumulating. Dr. Mwanza.
Thank you, Chair. I've heard stories of how salaries is struggling to pay salaries, statutory obligations, and so on. I may refer to page 14.
Let's go to page 14.
Failure to implement planned activities. That is a local government equalization fund. 20% of it is supposed to be used for capital projects. Chinsali, as of December 31st, 2023, an amount of 1,296,000 was spent on the projects, leaving a balance of 2,217,000. So, I want to find out 20% of the capital projects, 20% of the total local government equalization fund is supposed to be 12,290,000. Why did the council overrun the budget by 1,056,000? Second question is, based on the query, the cause of the query was due to use of the funds to pay salaries, which is on page 15. Paying these salaries using monies from the capital, from the local government equalization fund, 20% of it you channeled it to pay salaries. What was the component, what was the amount of money that was reserved for capital projects? Because I believe you did not use the whole 20% to pay salaries. What proportion of the 20% was reserved for capital projects, and what is that project that you executed? They're on the same page 15.
You can start with 3 first so that you don't, 3, then you come up with follow-ups. You have done 3? Doc?
Yes.
You have done 3? Okay, then the others you make a follow-up. I'll give you an opportunity. Okay, you can respond to those. Ask the acting accountant, is just a simple instruction is taking almost 30 minutes now. Welcome back, Acting DF. There is a question here from Dr. Mwanza. Dr. Mwanza, you can repeat your question, 3 of them. You start from page 14.
Page 14.
Go page 14, DF.
The local government equalization fund, 20% of it is supposed to be used on capital projects. %20 of the local government equalization fund allocation for each financial year is supposed to be used on capital projects. In your attempt to use the 20% for capital projects, you claimed you had reserved 3,514,561. This amount, you can check it on page 14 On page 14, it says, as at 31st December 2023, amounts totaling 1,296,754 had been spent, leaving a balance of 2,217,807. So if you add what was spent and what was unspent, would give you what you had planned to spend as capital as funding through capital projects. Now, when this amount is 1,056,000 above the 20% of allocation. So why did you reserve, or why did you plan to spend 1 million above the 20% of local government equalization funding? In the process of implementing these projects for capital projects, on page 15, the auditors found out that the cause of the query was due to use of the funds to pay salaries. So the capital projects could not be implemented because you used these funds to pay salaries. The question on this one is, how much of the 20% did you spend on capital projects? And what is that capital project that you spent on?
Have you grasped?
Yes, sir.
You can respond.
I have, Chair. On the capital project that we spent on, we had spent some amounts on building the commercial venture, that's the Nkakura guest house, the orphans, and also we had spent some of the monies on the ablution block at Old Market, and also part of the same money was also spent on the valuation row. So that's as regards to where the money was spent, part of the 1 point something which was spent out of the...
Not on salaries.
On salaries, what was spent on salaries, for now, I can't quantify, but I can confirm that the monies were used to pay salaries. Some of the money, I mean the balance.
So, TF, with this, we shall need evidence. How much you paid towards the valuation roll? You have payment vouchers. How much went to the orphans? You have payment vouchers. And you have pictures of the orphans erected using the same. How much was paid to the ablution block? Everything. Because we can't just, for us, there is no evidence as to where this money was spent. Now you are justifying. You must give us evidence to show this is how, and it should tally to the actual figures that you're talking about. We are evidence-based committee. We don't just believe what you just tell us. You just say, look at this voucher and the approvals, it was done for this and that. That's how we go. We cannot just take a word just like that. Doctor, any outstanding?
Yes, a follow-up. Yes. He has explained that part of the 20% capital expenditure was spent on a guest house, ablution block, valuation row, and so on and so forth. So I'll just take an example of one of the projects that has been listed here, which is on page 15. Action of ablution block at the new site of Old Market. Chair, the query which the auditors raised was that the project delayed to be completed because just some page 15, the last sentence, the cause of the query was due to use of funds allocated to this project on payment of salaries and wages for council employees. So the DF was explaining that they used part of the 20% to fund these projects, of which the ablution block is one of the project that was funded. And yet this project has suffered delayed completion due to lack of funding. This project details are quite alarming, in the sense that we are supposed to give a service to the people, despite paying salaries to the officials. But this project was given to a contractor called Slice Solution 2 years ago. That is 14th December 2022. The construction period was 3 months. Up to date in 2025, the project seems to be incomplete. They have attached a picture on appendix number 16. They've attached a picture on appendix number 16 to show the status of the project. And the reason for the delay in the completion is that they've been using the money to pay salaries. 2 questions on this. The picture on appendix number 14. 16? 16.
16 is not a
15,
picture.
15, sorry. 15. Appendix 15.
Okay.
Are we there? Appendix 15. Appendix 15 is showing, this picture, is this the ablution block under discussion? Is this ablution block operational in Chinsari at the new site of the old market? Is this the ablution block that is constructed there? Because to me, this doesn't look like an ablution block. You have given a picture in front that is showing the interior part of the ablution block. Yes, this is correct, the interior part. But is this the ablution block, and is it operational?
Okay, you can allow him to respond. Town clerk, some of the questions just need short answers. The picture in the appendix that you have given us, 15, appendix 15, is this the ablution block? It shows just the interior. Why didn't you capture even the outside? Or maybe for good reasons you just gave us this. Is this what is obtaining in Chinsari?
Thank you, Chair. I think the Director Engineering has the additional pictures that he can just confirm. But,
okay, you can pass them through.
The Director would deal with that.
You can, Secretariat, someone to help us. As we respond to those other questions, we can allow Secretariat to show us those other pictures. Acting DF, there was also a question as to why the budget had an overrun. And also you should tell this committee why this committee has suffered. A contract was supposed to be for 2 months. It has taken over 2 years. The money for the ablution block, just the ablution block, you have stated down there that you took the money to pay salaries. You should tell this committee the current status of this particular project, and also tell this committee the status of the wall fence. Is it complete? The status of the others, apart from the evaluation law, which we shall need those vouchers which were authorized to use the money for the evaluation law. This, we have the picture. Is this the same? Director Engineering.
Chair, the pictures which have been shared are the ones for the ablution which is under construction at the new site for the market.
Doctor said old. Do you have new and old?
The old market is was the first market to be constructed in Chinsari. and is referred to as the old market, and it has two sites. So one of them is referred to as the old market new site.
So this is the ablution which was queried.
Yes, Chair.
Progress. Let him respond to the other questions before you come in with the follow-up, Doc.
Thank you, Chair. I can confirm that the offense at Nkakula is done, it's complete, and also the valuation row, it is done. We were awarded, and we are currently using it. It's under implementation.
For the valuation row, we shall just need the vouchers the money that you used. If it is done, well and good, but we shall need evidence of the payments coming from this that you used to pay for the valuation row. That's the evidence that we shall need.
Okay, sure. Sure, Chair. What is remaining, which is not yet done for the three projects that I mentioned where the money was spent on, it's the ablution block at the old market, where the works are ongoing. And Chair, I must state that our predicament as Chinsadi Municipal Council, it's very unfortunate when it comes to salaries. The reason why we even have salary arrears as far back as 2019 is that the funds that we receive from local government equalization fund, like in the said year 2023, we used to receive 1,055,000 kwacha monthly, and collection from our own source revenue was on average 300,000, and when you add the two, the total revenue that we were collecting every month were about 1.3 million 55,000 kwacha. Now when you look at our gross pay in 2023, our gross pay in 2023 was 1.9 million. So we had a deficit of about 600,000 for us to meet all emolument costs together with other statutory obligations. So arising from this scenario, we used to have in any particular year, let me say 2023, we used to have maybe 5 months arrears. By the end, when we reach December 31st, maybe those arrears were reduced to 3 months arrears. And part of the money that we used to pay salaries to reduce the arrears that we have in that particular year used to come from the 20% capital project. And our hope was that as we move forward, we increase our revenue base through the creation of a number of projects, which some are still ongoing. Our hope was that as we move forward, those monies will be realized and paid back, of which we are doing, but we are doing that on the slow pace.
Okay. DF, I've heard you very well lamenting the challenges of Chinsali, just like some of the councils. Quite all right. The law is there, or the guidance is there, never to touch 20%, 2023. It should be for capital. But you're constrained. You have to dip your hand in the 20%. Did you seek permission from the ministry that we want authority to use part of this local government equalization fund? What Honorable Gamondo indicated earlier, failure to respect the rules is what we want to test on you. At any point, if at all you have, can you show us evidence to seek authority to use part of the money that the government has said this don't touch? Did you seek authority?
No, we did not.
Why? Honorable Gamondo?
Yes, sir. Honorable Chairperson, just on the same issue. You and all my colleagues here and this government understood very well the issues that the councils were going through. Hence, actually, we passed law to make sure that the 20% equalization fund, which was going for capital project, goes to the council to help them. I want to find out, after that law was passed, what is it that has changed with this council, with the 20% that now they are using? Has it improved their status quo, or their status quo has continued the same way?
TF.
Chair, somehow the status quo has improved, as that can be seen from the project that we have implemented using the 20%. However, maybe it's one of the reasons why the government felt it that maybe the 20% should be stopped, because as of 2024, the January 2024, effective January 2024, the 20% was not limited to, or was not applicable to the councils. And maybe it's one of the reasons that the government decided to remove the 20%.
Just a short one before Honorable Mulunda comes in. Are the councillors also in arrears?
No, the councillors are up to date.
They are up to date. Good. Honorable Mulunda.
Chair, it's just a council, not really a question. Maybe a question too. DF, you have the law before you, and they had given you an option. We know that now it's no longer there at the 20%. But in an event that you are given the instruction or you have the law before you, it's just important that you follow the law to the letter. You should ask for permission, because there is that option where you can just write. When you come before this committee, you present that actually we wrote for, seeking for permission. So in future you should do that. Now that you're saying you have things have improved a bit, I wanted to find out in details what is it that you have done differently to improve the situation. And then I also wanted to find out how many commercial ventures you have as Chinsari. You are on the highway there, right? Nakonde Highway, where people are trooping every day. Do you have a truck yard there as a council? Do you have a guest house as a council?
Yes, we have a truck yard, which is
Before you answer, just a point of collection.
Okay.
20%, which was being used from equalization fund to fund capital projects, is no longer being used to fund capital projects, but it is being given back to the council. And that is where now the issues of the councillors come in. So nothing has been removed from them. They've been relieved of using that one because there is CDF which can be used. I think I wanted just to correct
that clarification. DF, because the way you came out is now that the government has removed the 20%. Removed meaning that you are no longer getting it. But what the government has done is to give relief to councils, to say you have been crying that this 24% is mandatory going for capital projects. They have introduced CDF, enhanced it to help in the projects. Now they have said this 20% should help you in your administrative issues to include payment of allowances to councillors. So that is what is trying to clarify. So the issue here is, why do you break the law with impunity? When are we going to stop this attitude? You have your very good Ministry of Local Government. You have the provincial government officer. When it comes to CDF, you say, no, they have not yet approved, so we cannot spend. We are waiting for approvals, they're taking long. But when you want to dip them yourselves in the monies for your own salaries and other things, you don't even regard the ministry, DF. Why? Town clerk.
Thank you, Chair. And I think if you recall, when I was doing my presentation on page 23 and 24 of the memorandum, the remedial measure that has been put there is that we need to refund. Why we are saying we need to refund is because we realize that the action that we took was not the correct one. And that is why we are saying, as much as possible, we need to raise resources to address this issue. And once this is done, it will address the issues that we are talking about on page 14 and 15, because the auditors actually highlighted these projects not to have been undertaken because the money was used was applied on other issues like the salaries. So it's our commitment, Chair, that we deal with this matter and refund and ensure that we can see how best we can do these projects. Side by side, I think I mentioned there is a document we wrote to the ministry. And one of the issues that we tabled before the Minister of Local Government is that we needed to be helped in terms of addressing this 20% component. If that is considered favorably, then obviously this matter will be resolved very soon. Thank you, Chair.
I will revert back to Dr. Mwanza, because some of these questions were not answered, probably because the doc went out. The issue is, why did you have a budget overrun? It was not answered on the project. And the operations of the doc, you can put them very well.
Thank you. The budget overrun on over 20%, why? And as you tried to attempt to give service delivery on 20% capital on the LGF, the 20% is supposed to be used on capital projects. As you tried to attempt to give the public a service delivery through at least a very, very important project, which is the toilet, the ablution block. This ablution block has suffered till now 2 years. The reason is that you've been paying salaries, we've been applying the funds towards payment of salaries. So the question is, you are cash strapped and you've been struggling to pay salaries and the statutory instruments, but then what is cardinal is also to give service to the public, because when you have the service to the public, you have enhanced revenue collection. People would be able to pay. This toilet, this ablution block at this market is still under construction 2 years down the line. Would you go back to marketeers to say this is a fee-paying toilet to increase your revenue or not? So the question is on this ablution block. I'm interested to know, why are you not respecting the contractual rules? Because you must have signed a contract with a contractor. Now you are not paying the contractor. The contractor is willing to finish the ablution block, but you are not paying the contractor. What about the cost on delayed, the interest on delayed payments?
Okay.
And is the service also, just as by the way, because the people of Chinsari must know, on appendix number 13, you used part of the capital expenditure on local government equalization to maintain the roads in the CBD. So the pictures of the road are on page 13. You are doing these roads, there's no drainage, there's only one piece of equipment, there's no roller.
Yes, Doc. So we can allow them to respond. In short, he has even brought out another issue left out. Part of the 20% capital you used to do the roads. Very good thing. Would want to have evidence. So how much went to the road, how much went to this, how much with the evidence of payment vouchers to help you. But respond to those two. Then he will start winding up.
Maybe before he comes in, Chair, I will respond to the other one, the overrun. I think, and then the director engineering also talk about the period when we are going to complete the ablution block, then you address the other issues. With regard to the overrun, there was a brought forward figure of 1.1 million from 2022, which was supposed to be for 2022, but I think it was not used, and then it was brought forward. So that is the one that is bringing up the difference. And we can confirm those details later as our colleagues, the auditors, verify as well. Maybe Director Engineering can speak to the issue of the completion.
The contract, is it still running for the completion of the ablution block?
Chair, the contract is currently not running due to the lack of funds. It will be revisited at a time when the council has raised enough funds to complete the remaining works. Some other works were completed. Some other works continues to be done just to utilize the materials which had remained on site. So those are the current works which...
Maybe, to cut you short, Direct, what type of contract is this? Has it got time limit? Who is this contractor? Is it the council doing it, or it's been contracted to a contractor outside?
The contract was contracted to a contractor outside. And that's
what type of contract? For how long?
It's a works contract, and it was initially signed for 3 months.
Honorable Mlunda?
Just an addition, sir. Did I hear him saying the ablution block is now, I mean, there are no works going on the ablution block because of lack of funds. At the market, is the market working? And where do people go to?
So, Chair, what I had indicated was that some works have been conducted on the ablution block. However, the market is not operational.
The market is not operational, Town Clerk?
Yes. So
the market is not operational.
The market is the one which has been queried and is part of the report.
I've seen a query on the market, and I want to come to you, Town Clerk, and your team. The query on the market is that there is a dispute with the traditional leadership, and you have engaged to resolve that dispute. The attachment as evidence of your engagement does not speak to the query of the dispute. We go there so that we follow. You see that it's a query on the market. It's on page what? Page 13. Yeah, page 13. This failure to control markets. Number 3 is a failure to operationalize a market. And from 2020, the structure was completed in 2020, Town Clerk. This is a market completed in 2020, but not in use. Further, the place was unkept, and the grass overgrown around the structure, and it can be seen there. Money being wasted. Ablution block, not done. Now, if you look at the action taken, management wishes to report that works on the ablution block. No, I wanted to see where you are saying that you have engaged with the traditional leaders. And you look at the appendix, it shows a meeting to resolve the location of the market. So I wanted you to take note and show us the minutes of the actual engagement with the stakeholders you have said you have concluded. The other one is town clerk is on the budget. The budget, you have shown us why you have undercollected. I'll pick one, fees and charges. Your action taken by controlling officer, you say management has since collected 4,140,440 kwacha 97 ngwe, plus adjustment downwards of 2,270 out of, I don't know what you're talking about, leaving a balance of, and I wanted you to go to the appendix and show us these amounts. They are not speaking to this. This is guidance, town clerk, as you settle. Last one is employment of unqualified personnel. You have stated in your presentation, town clerk, that the reason being these officers being found to be unqualified is because of upgrading of their positions. I'll just one case. You have, is it a senior council police or chief of the police at Chinsali, whose qualification was a degree in theology? Now, I'm referring to your reason for the query. Is a degree in theology a requisite for his lower grade as a council police? A degree in theology from German. So I wanted to correct you that you don't give blanket answers. This particular council police had a wrong qualification even for the lower position. But you have stated here, as you give this committee responses, that no, it's because all of them is because of upgrading. A degree in theology from German is not a qualification for a senior council police. You know the requisite qualification. So I wanted to indicate to you that we took note as we are reading and guide you that you don't need to give blanket answers. Give specific answers to each query in future. You have Director HR. Director HR, take note of
the chair.
Thank you. So as we wind up, town clerk, you have seen that your council is not performing very well. Can you please, as a team, take note of that? The major issue we have as a committee, your committee, is failure to adhere to regulations. Why do we have government? Why do we have the Minister of Local Government to give guidance and direction on policy to the councils? But local authorities are disregarding our Minister of Local Government. They do a circular to guide you, don't do this, you do the opposite. You can dip your hands in any manner you feel without regard. That is not in order. And this committee, on behalf of Madam Speaker or National Assembly, we are not going to allow that. If it has been business as usual, count it that it has come to an end. We want you to adhere. If you have challenges which are well understood, engage your permanent secretaries. Engage your provincial local government officers. Why do we have these PLGOs in the provinces? As the Honorable Munda indicated, you're right. We have written. Here is the evidence. Because we have this challenge. Pay attention to the statutory obligations. Workers' obligations, salary arrears. You cannot have a cadre of employees who are reporting, who are not getting paid. They need to be motivated. Those who are owed money, it's their money. Pay them. If you have challenges, sit down with your ministry to come out of these problems. And also as a council, you have just given a response to say, now we have evaluation law. Every council will tell you, now we have evaluation law. But if you look at how people, how ratepayers are willingly paying under these difficult times, you may also have should have time to reflect on whether our taxes are high. If they are high, you come up with realizable taxes for Chinsali that are very easy to collect. And besides that, think outside. You have said you have a plan. You have seen ZNS going into farming. Of course, ZNS has been doing it, but ZAF is going into farming. Why can't you, Chinsali, you have got a very good pattern there, rain pattern. Also start going to get land. You are giving land to other people. You can't get land to say we target to have so many hectares so that when we cultivate, you have tractors, you buy tractors. Those are some of the innovations we are sharing with you. What we want is to come out of those challenges as Chinsali. So as a committee, we are just sharing what we think can help. But our role is to ensure that those audit queries they come to an end. We put a stop. Management of projects. You have seen from our expert that you are found wanting. So what more CDF? So we want you to take note of that, town clerk and your team, do a good job. Encourage those people without requisite qualifications, they go back, give them time to come back with the qualifications that are demanded by their officers. So with this said, I want to appeal to you that you do a good job so that tomorrow we don't see Chinsali appearing again with this huge report. It's not a good report. It's not a good report, I can tell you. But we want to see that next time you come with a better report or no queries at all. With this said, I want to withdraw the immunity that I had conferred on you, that you may take leave, go back, traveling nurses. We wish you well in this 2025. 2025 should be a defining moment that all these problems should come to an end. So as you go back, thank you so much, Town Clerk.
Thank you so much, Chair, and we appreciate your counsel, and I'm sure my team here, we've taken note of the key issues that you've raised, and we endeavor to make sure that we work on them and improve where we need to improve. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So another part of the Jewish history of this town is in fact the Pioneer Tower behind me. That was funded by the Sussman brothers. They were amongst the first Jewish people to come to this country back in the 1890s. And once Livingston town was built in 1905, they were amongst the first inhabitants. And 50 years later, as part of the celebration of their lives in this country, they funded the building of the clock tower. And of course it has a wonderful view over the falls, which you can see in front of us here, all the way down there. So it's part of the celebration, and 100 years later the Sussman brothers came back, and the Lutunga came from Barotseland to come and meet them. That is the prominence that this particular family had in this country, and of course in South Africa, because they left here, Livingston, to go to South Africa, where they set up in South Africa the company called Woolworths. So to this day the Jewish people have a strong influence not only in this country but in the sub-region. This is Nicky Iljon's shop. The Iljon family, of which there were various members of it, were one of the first inhabitants of the new town of Livingston, and this shop became one for selling bicycles and model aeroplanes. Now Nicky Iljon himself was the one who sadly closed down the synagogue when the last child had gone through there back in 1972. They then left here to go abroad after that. Behind me you can see there's a shop with pharmacy written on it. This used to be Sossi's garage. This was a man called Harry Sossen who married into the Sussman family, and he had the leadership of the Chevrolets back in the Northern Rhodesian days. And also, I'm pointing out over here, this tree is exactly where King George VI of Great Britain stood in 1947 in his visit to this country. Behind me is the Capitol Theatre, which today is the oldest cinema and theatre left in Zambia, and it was owned originally by the Grill family, and a young man married into their
Zambia Council, you're welcome. CS and your team. Before we start, as per custom, we would like to confer immunity on you under the Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia, that whatever you say before this committee cannot be used against you outside or in the courts of law, as long as you are factual. But you may wish to know that if you willfully mislead the committee, the same Cap 12 can be used against you. It is my hope that you will not go the route of misleading this committee, but give us information that will help us to come up with a good report that will present before Madam Speaker in the House of in Parliament. With this said, I would like to once again ask you, thank you for coming, and ask you to introduce yourselves, your name and your title. Then you can ask your fellow colleagues to individually do the same. Over to you, Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Zulu Joseph, the Council Secretary, Kanchibia Town Council.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll ask my team to introduce themselves, starting from my left.
Thank you, Chair. My name's Hastings Nyirenda. I'm the Director of Human Resource and Administration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Mwiche Malamachungu. I'm the Director of Finance, Kanchibia Town Council.
Morning, Chair. Morning, everyone. My name is Chanda Augustine, Director Planning.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Milamsonda, Director of Engineering. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everybody. My name is Namakao Kamayoyo, Senior Procurement Officer, Kanchiwea Town Council.
Namakao?
Kamayoyo.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mutiti Shaninde, Assistant Internal Auditor.
Thank you. Permanent witnesses.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning, honorable members of this committee. Good morning, Kanchiwea Town Council. My name is Makrob Maki. I'm the Acting Director in the Office of the Auditor General, Muchinga Province.
Behind.
Good morning. I am Luvinda Sinyani from the Planning and Research Department in the Office of the Auditor General. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Kanchiwea. My name is Pitman Avanyati, Acting Principal Auditor, Muchinga Province.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Simon Munyama from the Planning and Research Department, Office of the Auditor General.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, honorable members of Parliament. My name is Jeffan Siame from Control of Internal Audit, Ministry of Finance.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of this committee, and good morning, Kanchiwea Town Council. My name is Joyce Kubanza from Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning, everyone. My name is Mumbasaka from the Ministry of Finance and National Planning, Office of the Accountant General. Thank you.
National Assembly Secretariat, staff.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Kanchiwea Council. My name is Elvis Chupuka from the Parliamentary Budget Office.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Chomba Mkarura, under Parliamentary Budget Office.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chairperson, for the opportunity. Mr. Zulu and your team, good morning to you. I am Chidimboi Elijah from the Office of the Clerk of National Assembly, and you are welcome.
Thank you. Honorable members, we can introduce ourselves, starting with the Mfumbwe.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning, Kanchiwea, and you are welcome to your committee. Good morning, honorable colleagues, and also good morning, our permanent witnesses. My name is Elliot Kamondo. I'm Member of Parliament from Mfumbwe. Thank you.
Honorable Pavyuma.
Okay, good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members, Secretariat, our permanent witnesses. Good morning, Kanchiwea Town Council. Kalowo Pavyuma is my name. I represent the good people of Sakere constituency, Kitwe, in the Copper Belt.
Thank you.
Morning, Chair. Morning, Kanchiwea. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency in Petaukei District of the Eastern Province, and I'm a member of this committee. Thank you.
Honorable Siavonga.
Chair, good morning. Good morning, permanent witnesses. Good morning, colleagues. Morning, Secretariat. Morning, Kanchiwea. My name is Mulunda Darius, Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency, and a member of this committee. Chair, thank you.
Thank you very much for those introductions. My name is Mishek Mutetwa Nyambose, representing the wonderful people of Chasefu constituency in Eastern Province, and privileged to be the chairperson of your committee. You're welcome once again. Council Secretary, you can take us through your memorandum.
Thank you so much, Chair. As guided, Chair, in the earlier appearances, I'll go straight to the queries and the responses. I hope that's the guidance even now, Chair.
Yeah, you go to the query,
To the query and the response.
then causes of the query. You mentioned the query, causes of the query, remedial measures, and action taken and remedial measures.
Thank you so much, Chair, for the guidance. So, cause of query, the first one is balance of 4,178,741 was unspent as at 31st December 2023. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the unspent balance of 4,178,741 has since been spent as indicated in the table below. Number 1, it is the unspent amount is 885,475. Grant was spent. Grant was received on the 29th of December and could not be spent by end of year.
CS, you can skip the schedule.
Okay. Thank you, Chair, for the guidance.
Just starting.
I'll go to the remedial measure. Management will continue with project monitoring to ensure timely implementation of project as well as payments.
Page 5.
Then I'll go to the next query, which is under adverse performance on revenue collection. Cause of query: Kanchivia Town Council failed to collect any revenues on the license and under collection of levies. License chair refers to firearm license, whose process of collection includes clearance of firearm by Zambia Police Service. During the year referred to, Kanchivia Town Council had no presence of Zambia Police in the district. Correspondence between Kanchivia Town Council and Zambia Police Services is available in Appendix 7 for your reference, Chair. Under collection of levies refers to palm oil levy that was not paid by Zampam for the year 2023 due to failure to meet expected standards as per attached correspondence in Appendix 8, Chair. Action taken: a request for Zambia Police Service to occupy the police post in Kanchivia was made by management. The request was fulfilled on the 1st of January 2025. This means, therefore, that firearm owners no longer need to move long distances to Mpika for clearance of firearms before traveling back to Kanchivia to obtain a firearm license. Correspondence to Zambia Police Services is attached in Appendix 9, Chair. Under levies, Zampam Limited was engaged to discuss the way forward. They have since committed to pay their arrears as per attached commitment letter, Appendix number 10. Remedial measures: management will collaborate with Zambia Police Services to ensure collection of firearm licenses and collection of palm oil levy from Zampam Limited. Under deliverables, Chair, I'll go straight to page 7. Cause of query: Kanchivia to create, the activity was to create a council burial site. Kanchivia Town Council did not create a burial site as at 31st December 2023. Action taken: management has since established a cemetery. Minutes of the meeting held with the stakeholders as well as the site plan are available for your attention in Appendix 11A and 11B respectively. Remedial measures: management will continue with the sensitization to general public on the use of the designated cemetery. I continue, Chair, to collect 100% budget revenue. Cause of query: Kanchivia Town Council failed to collect any revenues on the license and under collection of levies. This query, Chair, is repeated. So with your guidance.
It's a repeated query?
Yes, this query is
okay,
repeated.
Please proceed to the next one.
Thank you. The next query, Chair, is on page 8, which is officers on study leave without authority. Cause of query: the officer was on paid study leave without authority. Action taken: management wishes to report that the officer did not proceed to school in the year 2023. However, he did an evening online course to study with the University of Zambia. Attached in Appendix 15 is a letter from the University of Zambia to confirm that the officer did not attend school on full-time mode in the year in question, but did online classes at the University of Zambia as indicated in Appendix 16 for your reference, Chair. Remedial measure: management will ensure that only officers with authority to study are allowed to proceed on paid study leave. The next query, Chair, is on page 9. Cause of query, the total cost requested for the Chikakara Bridge project was 1,499 kwacha to complete the construction of a bridge including stone pitching works. However, only 1 million was received from the ministry, leaving the balance of 499,080 kwacha intended for execution of the stone pitching works.
You on page what?
I'm on page 9, Chair.
I don't have page 9 here on this particular report. There is no page 9. Thank you. Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. I'll start. The total cost requested for the Chikakara Bridge project was 1,499 kwacha to complete the construction of the bridge, including stone pitching works. However, only 1 million kwacha was received from the ministry, leaving the balance of 499,080 kwacha intended for execution of the stone pitching works. A letter to request for the 1.499,980 is attached in Appendix 17, and correspondence for disbursing of 1 million is Appendix 18, is attached for your reference. Action taken. Management has written to the ministry to request for the balance of 499,000 kwacha and 80 in order to complete the stone pitching works. In addition, Kanchiwia Town Council has done some gravel embankment around the structure using machinery procured under the Constituency Development Fund. The Council will also allocate funds from the sector grant to carry out stone pitching. Attached are letters to the Ministry in Appendix 19 for your reference. Management remedial measures. Management to execute efforts towards allocating of funds from the sector grant to complete the stone pitching works. The next query, Chair, is cause of query. Kanchiwia Town Council did not spend 937,422 as at 31st December 2023. The funds were unspent due to the inaccessible road leading to Kati Island, making it impossible for the contractor to transport heavy equipment to the island. The area is waterlogged due to floods experienced as a result of heavy rains. Further, the contractor had an accident while transporting materials for erecting tank stands on the water body surrounding the island, which led to the loss of materials. This further affected the progress of the works, therefore delaying payments. Action taken. The contractor has progressed in his works and is only remaining with a balance of 411,666. The inspection report is attached in Appendix 20 and ledger Appendix 21 for the water account is attached for your attention. Remedial measure. Management has earmarked the road leading to Kati Island as one of the roads to be worked on in this year through the sector grant. This will ensure that future projects are implemented in good time. Cross-cutting issues. Cause of query. This query, Chair, again is repeated. I seek your guidance whether I should. It's repeated.
No,
as
you
the
can
first
skip
query.
it.
Thank you, Chair. I'll go straight to page 16. Sorry, Chair. I'll go to page 14. This one. Failure to secure properties with title deeds. Cause of query. Kanchiwia Town Council did not secure title deeds for properties in the Central Business District due to the uncertainty surrounding the location of the Central Business District in the year 2023. Action taken. Management had an engagement meeting with the Permanent Secretary Technical Services, Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Provincial Administration and stakeholders who are chiefs, where it was resolved that the District Administrative Center continue to be located in Chalavesa. Applications for the title deeds have since been processed and lodged with the Commission of Lands. Attached are copies of the applications for your reference in Appendix 22. Remedial measures: management to ensure that all council properties are secured with title deeds. Poor management of waste. Cause of query: Kanchiwea Town Council had not established a disposal site because at the time of the audit, ZEMA had not yet gazetted the site earmarked for disposal in the Central Business District. Action taken: management has since engaged the traditional leaders falling within the CBD and engaged the Provincial Planning Authority on the need to have a functional disposal site. Currently, the local authority has made the following progress: procurement of a tractor and trailer for waste collection, engagement meeting with headmen and chiefs representatives, a site plan and outline for the 15 hectares, correspondence to ZEMA for certification of the disposal site. Attached are the minutes for the engagement meeting, Appendix 23, site plan, Appendix 24, and correspondence to ZEMA, Appendix 25, for your reference. Remedial measures: management to ensure that the certification process with ZEMA are concluded as soon as possible so that the disposal site becomes operational. The next one is failure to settle statutory obligations. Cause of query: Kanchiwea Town Council did not settle statutory obligations, broken down as follows. NAPSA, 386,144, ZRA 1,453,120, giving us a total of 1,839,263. This was due to inadequate revenue base for Kanchiwea district as it is largely rural. The monthly grant of 783,469.43 is supplemented by the locally generated revenue amounting to 103,156.78, giving us a total revenue of 886,626.21. This is used to cover monthly salaries and operational costs. Attached in Appendix 26A is a breakdown of the monthly revenue and expenditure and the payroll report for the month of December 2023 in Appendix 26B for your reference. Action taken: management is committed to liquidating the outstanding statutory obligations by making payments toward reducing the debt as shown below. So in 2024, we have paid. This is what we have paid. This is what we have paid. By 2024, we have paid for NAPSA. We also paid a 105 for ZRA, bringing the total payments to 776,815. Vouchers and are attached in Appendix 27 for your reference. The balance of 3.665824.55 will be liquidated as per payment plan attached for your reference in Appendix 28. Remedial measure: management will endeavor to prioritize liquidation of statutory obligation as per payment plan. The next query, Chair, is failure to settle staff obligations. Cause of query: Kanchiwea Town Council did not settle staff obligations amounting to 539,613 as at 31st December 2023, broken down as follows. Terminal benefits 403,429, settling in allowances 105,685, baggage 30,500, bringing a total to 539,613. This is due to the inadequate inflow to cover all expenses. Attached is the receipt and payments for reference in Appendix 29. Action taken: management wishes to state that it is committed to the payment of outstanding staff obligation, which has been reduced as indicated below. In terms of terminal benefits, Chair, from 403, it has reduced to 177. Settling in allowances from 105, it has reduced to 57,149. And for baggage, From 30,000, it has reduced to 25,500. Vouchers in Appendix 30 are available for your reference. The outstanding balance of 259,649.08 will be settled according to the payment plan attached in Appendix 31 for your reference. Remedial measure: management will endeavor to prioritize liquidation of staff obligations as the payment plan provided. The next query, Chair, is failure to establish fire fighting services. Cause of query: Kanchiria Town Council had not established firefighting services at the time of audit. Action taken: management had made provisions for fire officers in the 2024 budget and has since been awaiting the posting of fire officers to Kanchiria Town Council by the Local Government Service Commission. An extract from the budget is available for your reference in Appendix 32. Remedial measure: management to continue to engage the Local Government Service Commission on the matter. Chair, I thank you. This is our submission.
Thank you very much, CS. And at this point, I will ask honorable members to make points of clarifications. Honorable members, honorable member for Mfumbwe.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Like you always say, mine, just a short one. I have a short one. A short point of clarification. I take you to page 8. The query actually is officers on paid study leave without authority. I wanted to find out, because from the action taken, Council Secretary, you have submitted that management wishes to report that the officer did not proceed to school in 2023. However, he did an evening online course to study with the University of Zambia. Attached on the Appendix 15 is a letter from the University of Zambia to confirm that the officer did not attend school on full-time mode in the year in question, but did online classes at University of Zambia, as indicated in Appendix 16 for your reference. Now my question is, why did you not present this evidence to the auditors when they came to Kanchiria? But you decided to wait and bring them here, because if that was the case, there and then this issue would have been dropped. But why did you take too long? Or why didn't you act upon that? Why didn't you have this evidence which you have shown in these two appendices? Why did it take you too long? Thank you.
CS, you can respond to that.
Thank you so much, Honorable. I wish to report, Chair, that the same evidence that we have provided in this report is the same evidence that we provided to Auditor General at the time of the interim management report.
Okay, before follow-up question, we're being joined by Parliament. Singombe, did you introduce yourself? You can do that.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'm Singombe Edgar, representing Dundumwes constituency. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Chair. I'm Wene Luhamba, representing the people of Magango.
Honorable Kampamba.
Morning, Chair. My apologies, I was in another committee. My name is Kampamba Mlenga, a member of Parliament for the good people of Kalulushi on the Copper Belt. I'm also a member of this honorable committee. Witness, you're welcome.
Thank you. A follow-up question, Honorable.
My follow-up question is, if indeed this evidence was actually presented to the auditors at the time of audit, this is a query. Why was it not dropped? Maybe I can ask from...
when you read the evidence, there is a letter from UNILAS indicating a certain period. Then there's a letter from University of Zambia. So there is no evidence talking about January to December 2023, which is the year under review and where this matter was queried. So, AG, would you give us some information?
Thank you so much, Chair. I think the evidence, if you look at the appendix, the one that is being referred to, appendix 15, you will notice that that evidence is dated January 14th, 2025. Yeah, we were made aware of this morning that actually there was such correspondence. So I want to say that this was not availed during the time of audit. Was it availed, surely we would not have brought this matter this far. So we are seeing this evidence just now. I submit, Chair.
Thank you. CS, who was engaging the auditors?
My director finance and myself were engaging the auditors. So I'll ask director of finance to come in and say something.
DF.
Thank you very much. At the time that this was at interim management, what was queried and what is reflecting in Auditor General's report is a degree for civil engineering, which the employee in question already had and had not applied for in the query which we have now. So we concentrated on what he had not obtained, because at the time that we were being audited, what has been stated is a degree for civil engineering, which already was holding at the time of the audit and is not appearing here. So that is where a bit of confusion was during the audit. Thank you very much.
Did you see that confusion yourself? Or maybe why didn't you avail this later that you have just submitted now during that time?
We were trying to figure out and connect why it was being queried for a qualification which we already had and did not obtain in that year. So we were trying to connect. So we thought perhaps it's because he did online studies, that is why Auditor General picked and couldn't drop the query at the time. That's why we provided this evidence.
Okay, so you confirm that during the year under review, he was actually working by doing online courses in other subjects, in other fields.
Yes.
He was actually working, he was not on leave.
No, he was not on leave.
He was
we
actually
confirmed,
working.
we even provided the personal file.
Okay.
We went that far, yes. Sir.
Okay. Honorable members, a follow-up?
Was this officer paid? To understand.
For the year under review, was he getting his pay?
Chair, for the year under review, he was getting his pay because he did not go out of the workplace. He was doing evening online classes. So he was doing normal work, coming for work at 8 and knocking off at 17.
Okay.
So he did not actually leave the workstation.
Okay. Any other intervention? Honorable Pavyuma.
Thank you very much, Chair. Let me take you to page 7.
Let's go to page 7.
Query on firearm licenses.
You can go ahead.
Okay. So maybe allow me to read what CS has submitted here in the report. Licenses refers to firearm license whose process of collecting includes clearance of firearm by Zambia Police Services during the year referred to. Kanchibia Town Council had no presence of Zambia Police in the district. And the CS has indicated that since then there is correspondence to have these police officers take possession or operationalize the police station. Now my question to CS is, CS, why did you budget for this when you knew that you had no presence of Zambia police in the area? Then my second query is drawn from page 18. On the firefighting services, you have indicated that you have made provisions for firearm officers. What you are waiting for is for them to be posted So my question here, you as a council, what efforts or advances have you made in terms of the fire station and the other equipment so that should these officers be posted at your council, they will have some equipment to use? So what have you done yourselves as a council? Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Councillor Yutani.
Thank you so much. I'll start the first question. Kanchibia and Mpika town and Mpika districts have been collaborating in terms of security services. In the year under review, our police vehicle was actually has been stationed in Mpika because Mpika police has been servicing Kanchibia. So we envisaged that people would be making it to go to Mpika and have their firearms cleared, but that was a lapse on our part. We didn't see it coming that people would have difficulties to get to Mpika and get their firearms cleared. So that was a lapse when we were budgeting. Then on the equipment, due to our limited financial resources, we want to state that we haven't advanced much in terms of procuring equipment for the firefighters. But as we go on, as we expand our revenue base, we'll make sure that some of these equipment are procured as we wait for the officers to come.
A follow-up, Honorable Karo.
Thank you, Chair. CS, so you are confirming that you are not ready for those officers. Should they be not ready? Anything?
The firefight in the council have got a wide span of work. Apart from using just the fire machines and the firefighting equipment, they do a lot of inspections in terms of the farms that we have. If we have farms, they do a lot of inspections, they do a lot of fire inspections, and this would be a source of revenue that would help us to actually buy some of the equipment that they will need. So when they come, we are ready for them because they have got a lot of other works to do apart from just using the equipment as firefighting equipment. But the firefighting equipment will be procured as and when funds are available and when these officers actually come. Thank you.
Thank you. Another intervention? Honorable Karo, please.
Okay. Chair, these responses don't sit well with me. So, they have a lot of things to do, these fire officers.
Yes,
so, as they go out there to do inspection, so you expect the people to pay in terms of fire when you can't provide any single service to them? Is it not a daylight robbery to the residents of Kanchibia? When you cannot provide a single service, but you expect payments in terms of firefighting. Is that very correct, CS?
Actually, Chair, or through the Chair, what we are saying is that these people, when they come, we'll make sure that we actually buy one or two things that can just make their work. Because now we have stated here that our budget is very much constrained, and for us to budget for these people that have not yet come on site, it will further constrain our budget. So our response is that as and when these people come, we'll see what we can buy for them just to make their work, to start working, to make their work easy. At the moment, Chair, looking at our budget, we cannot manage to buy things for people who have not yet reported. I submit, Chair.
Chair, honorable members, I was interested in the first question that Honorable Pavyuma asked. Yes. I don't know if it has been answered to the way about the licenses. Why I need to be guided, Chair. I mean, members, when you look at the budget performance there, where it starts from on page 1. You will note that the collections from licenses is 0. They had budgeted for 1,000 kwacha, but they collected 0. My interest on this one was, apart from firearm licenses, were you looking at other licenses? Because this one is a vote for licenses, isn't it?
Yes.
Why did you budget only for firearms? Did you firearm licenses? Other licenses, are they in this figure or they are separate? And if they are separate, did you collect anything from them? I don't know, I need to be guided if they responded that way.
Thank you, Chair, for that question.
On the same licenses?
Yeah, on the licenses, like you're asking, I would have loved to know the population of Kanchibia as well, because surely collecting nothing doesn't sit well with me. Do we have a population that would support the tax base for Kanchibia?
You can help us on
Thank you,
those.
Chair. I will ask Director of Finance just to comment on the licenses.
Thank you very much.
CS, your mic should be off as Director responds.
Thank you very much. In reference to the licenses, the Honorable MP asked why we budgeted if we knew that it was not going to be collected. As we may be aware, for the budget of the year 2023, budgeting begins in the year 2022, in the fourth quarter. So during that time, the police officers were actually in Kanchibia, but they were residing in a tent. They didn't have any proper sanitary conditions as well as housing. So at that time, when this budget was approved, those police officers were withdrawn from Kanchibia entirely after the budget had been approved because of the poor conditions in which that they were living. Then for business, for licenses, this vote through the chair, licenses only refers to dog license and firearm licenses. The trading licenses that the layman calls trading licenses is now called business levies, and it's budgeted under levies. This is where we explained that the under collection was related to Zampam not paying their levies as expected due to the substandard of the palm oil which they were producing. Thank you very much. I submit.
Yes, just now I'll call you back. There is a question from Honorable Pavima. You can make a follow-up.
Yes. Maybe, Chair, that's the response on the presence on the police. So we have two responses here. You have just told us that you are the police who are in a tent. CS told us that yes, we had no police in Kanchibia at the time of budgeting. So your expectation, yes, same year. You are talking of the same year. His expectation was that they should have been going to Zitimpika. So which one is the correct answer? You are saying at the time of budget you had the police. He has acknowledged that the police presence was not there. He expected them to be going to where? Mpika. So which one is the correct answer there? Then away from that, as you come to respond, since I saw you mention palm oil, how much palm levy is due? Thank you very much, Chair.
You can respond to that, either the Director of Finance or CS. Dear.
Just a clarity, I explained that the budget for 2023 is prepared in the fourth quarter of 2022. So when it was being prepared and submitted, the police were there. but they were withdrawn, meaning in the year 2023, their presence was not there anymore, as CS explained. So I only gave a preamble to how the police moved out of Kanchibia. Then in reference to Zampam, Zampam is owing 781,000 to the council for the year 2023 for Zampam oil, crude oil. I submit, Chair.
You had given indication that why we can't see licenses, they are in permits. Do you confirm that you don't give liquor licenses to the people of Kanchibia who are trading in liquor? If so, are they also classified as permits?
Thank you very much. So in this year of 2023, we had not budgeted for liquor licenses. We only budgeted for firearm licenses in the year 2023.
Why? You are letting people to trade in liquor without licenses. DF, your mic is off? Okay.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, we didn't budget for this vote. We are going to budget for it. We have budgeted for it in this budget, but for this year, we didn't budget for it.
Let me ask, honorable members,
just maybe a clarification. They didn't budget for liquor licenses the whole year. It was a bonus in Kachibia or something, because basically what we are getting is that from your submission that Kachibia is still struggling in terms of locally generated revenue. So how do we leave out that component? That is obvious, because there is no place in Zambia, I think. There is no district where people do not trade in liquor. Thank you, Chair.
The Chair has preempted my question, but I'm still waiting. I wanted to know the population of Kachibia, because here we are talking about them not budgeting for liquor licenses. So do we have people in Kanchibia? And this is why I continue asking the population of Kanchibia, because it will indicate whether the council has just let these people scot-free. We are looking for resources. Unless you say Kanchibia is fully developed and you don't need you to collect revenue from the people who reside within Kanchibia.
You see, when you are responding to Honorable Pavuma, you took it very casual. It is a serious oversight and negligence on your side to allow people to trade without licenses. But you, just as a culture or custom is, we shall just tell them that no, the police officers were removed after some times. You budgeted for firearms, 1,000. But you neglected the most important thing. The license on liquor is to regulate whoever sells such beverages to the people. And you as a council who is struggling, you fail to collect from licenses. But because you were answering him, it was just a casual thing. You thought you have. But liquor is one of, and other licenses apart from those permits. Not everything is under permits. No. So I allow Honorable Kampamba to add a word.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe my question would be, are there people trading in liquor in Kanchibia, or there are no people trading?
Your mic should be off.
Or there are no people trading in liquor in Kanchibia? And if they are, it's not even, Chair, about the revenue. It's about breaking the law. The law enforcers are the ones breaking the law. Are they aware that it is actually law? No one can trade in liquor. It is you as a local authority who should regulate by issuing a license. So maybe the question is, are there people trading in liquor? And if they are, is the team agreeing that they have broken the law? Maybe that's where we should start from.
Thank you. She has put it very well. You can respond.
Thank you, Chair. I'll start with the Honorable for Dunumwen's question. Kanchiwea has a population of 93,052. 93,052. The second question for Honorable Kampamba. Yes, there are people trading in liquor, but very unstructured kind of trading. And we want to accept here that, yes, we have not been proactive in this area to get this license. And this scenario, Chair, will work on it and we'll make sure that we collect the needed licenses for the council.
I hope you understand why you are called a local authority. You are the people who are supposed to regulate and structure them. What is missing at Kanchiwea? That you, not Kanchiwea, we are seeing this becoming a general trend where you just think that it is a revenue collection. You are actually regulating. Yesterday we were talking about dog levy. And I was making a point, we were making a point as a committee, that the dog levy we are supposed to collect is not just a revenue. It is to regulate how many dogs, are they vaccinated. You are a local authority. But you neglect to structure and you let people sell illicitly all sorts of big garages. When the government, and you saw your Minister of Local Government going around regulating people, and you as a council, you are not moving with your minister, you are not moving with your government. So what are you existing for? What are you doing in Kanchiwea? If you look at your report, it's not a good report. On revenue, you are faring very badly. So, CS, this is material omission on your part. You need serious orientation to understand when you are called a local government. I hope you have directors of admin and HR who understand what the council is existing for. So you are letting down your government. You are neglecting to regulate. It's not about revenue collection, but regulating also, but you get some revenue because people are now following laid down the processes, and do they have toilets, is the environment okay? Those are the things. Even the firearm we have talked about. How many people have firearms in Kanchiwea? So I thought I should put that point as is stated by honorable members here, including Honorable Kambamba. That is a serious omission on your part. Any more queries, Dr. Mwanza? Yes, Doc? Oh, there's a follow-up from Honorable Pavyuma on the same?
Yes, Chair.
Before we come to another query. Honorable Pavyuma.
Chair, I wanted to learn from CS. Maybe we could be pressing in the tight corner. In the law, to regulate these people selling liquor, because you have shared to the committee that the people in Kanchiwea, they are trading in a unstructured manner, because we've not even seen evidence showing unstructured kind of trading. There's no evidence to show that. Does the law segregate when you are regulating these people trading in liquor? I know we're not talking about the illicit beer. We're not talking. What does the law say? Does it say those who are trading in a structured way should not be levied? So maybe we learn as a committee. Thank you very much, Chair.
You can answer that one.
Thank you, Chair. No, the law does not segregate, but we take note, Chair, that this is a serious omission on our part, and we are going to work on it. That is our submission.
Okay, just a rider, or just maybe a bonus one. I will ask Dr. Manza to come in. In 2024, did you budget for licenses? Okay, we shall come to it when we look at 2024. Dr. Manza.
Thank you, Chair. We may refer to page 10 of your submission. Kanchiwea Council is constructing a water scheme at Kate Island, and so far the project has progressed well, with only about 411,666 kwacha remaining. Simple question is, what is the status of this water scheme? Is it operational? Because
you can raise your voice, don't put the mic closer to you.
What is the status of this project? Is the water scheme operational? And I check the project ledger and the progress. So it seems that the amount of money that is remaining, which is 411,666, I would like to know what scope of work this money is going to cover in the project.
You can respond.
Thank you, Chair. I wish to state that the project was for putting up 6 water schemes on Kate Island, and as we speak, all the tanks for the tanks for the 6 water schemes have been erected, and 4 of these are operational. The 2 that have remained are the ones that we have mentioned, where the contractor had loss of some materials, and these are the ones that are waiting to be made operational, but 4 of them are operational as we speak. Director of engineering has some pictures that we could share with the committee. Thank you.
Those pictures share, we can pass them through. Let us look at them. Honorable members, I've got one on page 17. We go to page 17. On page 17 is failure to settle staff obligations, and we have seen balances there. Next is we go to appendix 30. Appendix 30, you have come to demonstrate, you have demonstrated how you have paid on terminal benefits 226,000 kwacha and the 48,000 on settling in allowances. My interest is the first payment voucher on appendix 30. Are we there, CS? This payment voucher was paid to one Evans Malama Kalulu. This payment voucher was not authorized, was not approved, and it was not acquitted. My question is this the standard that a serious document, even when you do direct transfers, for your record, you don't acquit, you don't approve? Such important. Why did you pay without approvals of the CS and other important people on the payment vouchers? The other payment vouchers on the same appendix were signed and approved, authorized by Muche Malama. Muche Malama is who? Director of Finance. You are the one who authorized. Zulu, you approve. It was not acquitted. Is this a standard? Or if not, the other payment voucher was had all the important people. It was authorized by Mpande. Is it Mpande or Mwapeka paya with who? This was in 2020. In 2020, yes. Then the one on settling in allowance, 11,000 kwacha. It was not received. If you see, this is the trend, and the many more. You have seen all these payment vouchers. The question is, what is the standard on such important documents? These are accountable documents that are critical. Why do you pay without approval, without authorization, without the person who has been given the resources to acquit, to confirm? Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. This is an omission on our part, and this is not the standard, Chair. We realize that this is a serious document that needs to be acquitted and approved by the right people, but we wish to state that this is not the standard, and going forward, such mistakes will not be made, such omissions will not be made, Chair.
What would you attribute this serious omission to, you as CS?
Chair, I would say it is a serious omission, as I've admitted, and going forward, we promise that these omissions will not be there.
Honorable Kamondo, before I also make a... Yes, yeah.
CS, is it your view that indeed, now that you have approved that this is a very serious omission, that these documents be excluded from this document as evidence?
Chair, I would like to state that it's not my view that these documents be omitted, but as we have acknowledged that this is a serious omission, we beg that these documents be admitted, and going forward, such mistakes, Chair, will not be seen.
Honorable Pavyoma.
Thank you very much. I think I take interest from Honorable Kamondo's question. These documents are not acquitted, and when you look at them, I don't even know if there's a standard payment voucher. These are just computer, yes, generated. These things are not acquitted. You're an expert. So, meaning they are not authentic. Yourself, would you accept a document that is not authentic to be part of evidence? Because we'll be doing a report which will be tabled in the House. So, if we accept such evidence, which is not authentic, is it going to be okay for us? So that's why Honorable Kamondo is asking you.
You wait for me to give you a chance. Let the Honorable...
Your evidence does not qualify. Because it is not, they are not acquitted, there are no signatures here. So there is no proof that these funds, somebody received the funds. There is no proof here. So it's a nice conversation. Should they be excluded as evidence because they don't qualify? Thank you very much.
Yes, Council Secretary.
Chair, I acknowledge that the documents have not been signed, but as I stated earlier on, I beg that these documents be submitted, and then we can resubmit the documents which are signed as we leave. we can submit.
The issue which is yes, we are just citing serious and material omissions on the issues that you councils are committing. This committee, your committee, is at pains to understand if you can give payment. The other payment for 2020, I asked who was there. It was a former CS and the former team. They were able to sign for them. Now, in case tomorrow you are not there, why do these processes, why are they put in place? Then you see, you omit like that. And our belief is that you are qualified people, well-oriented to run your offices. Director of Finance, well-qualified, CS, other directors. Now you neglect to do what your qualifications and expectations of government on you leave out this. Tomorrow, the same people come and claim that I was not paid. Even if you have attached a transfer, you need to have a document that speaks to the fact that, one, it has been approved, authorized, prepared and audited, and also acquitted by the payee. So the payee doesn't acquit. He just gets money. Oh, we have just paid. Is this the standard? You said no. What do you think has made you to be doing this? Pure negligence. Now, who should do this for you? Systems are put in place to safeguard resources, to assure the system that everything is going to pay expectation. But you are doing the opposite. You people, as Honorable Kampamba indicated, you are the authority. You are the people who are supposed to ensure that there is order. You are not doing this. So how do we admit this for our report? You say no, just admit such evidence. We are at pains. Even if we are to send you away, how many times are we going to do? All the councils, what is happening in the councils? And when can you have a stop to this? When? Council Secretary. This is the pain that we have. This committee has not been put just to get allowances. We want to show we add value to the governance systems and oversight to ensure that we stop some of the leakages, some of the problems, the issues highlighted by the auditors. We don't take kindness to send people away. And you people, if you are just working the time that, oh, it's now time to go and appear before the audit committees, you do whatever, bring this paper, put it just there. Have you put, then let's go. Then we have a problem for our country. But this committee is determined. We are going to put a stop to it. A wrong is a wrong, and we are not going to allow it. So we are not admitting your report. Bring authentic documents, clean them, bring them, so that we have a good report. This time we are not allowing these things to continue. Within the time frame that we are sitting, we want to see a change of attitude, bring the correct things. We are a serious committee, we are a serious parliament, and there is a serious government that is going to make a stop to this. So, Council Secretary, before I give a final verdict, I'll ask Dr. Mwanza one bullet question, submission. Thank you, Chair. It's just an additional submission of not acquitting the accounts. All the projects that you were queried on, which you have responded to here, they have no project financial accounts statements. I'll give an example, like the water supply scheme. you have given a ledger just to show, to say, on such a date, so much money was paid to this account. That's all. But we don't, there's no proof that this money was acquitted through the contractor. So, as you maybe amend your submission, make sure that the projects that have been queried in terms of capital projects, the financials should as well be correct. Thank you. You have seen and gotten the guidance. We want financials on all the projects that we have executed, show evidence that the people, the contractors have been paid, because we don't want to say, no, everyone is paid. Out there, people are saying, have not been cleared. So bring the financials well acquitted, so that as you come back, you come with those. Within the time frame, we want a report done. You come back, Council Secretary. With that said, I want to withdraw the immunity that had earlier conferred on you and your team, and that it's withdrawn. From this time, as you go back, we wish you well. We shall be expecting liaison with the Secretariat to give you an actual date that you are going to appear. Go and do a good job. Thank you very much.
breathtaking and thrilling. Visit Livingston City for pure adrenaline and fun. Let its thrills and spills inspire you. Livingston features arguably the best sunset views in the world. Memorable game viewing adventures in the small but well-stocked Mosi-otunya National Park, where you can see the rare white rhino. Experience the best of Zambia's rich culture and history at the Livingston Museum, or through visual and performing arts, food and folklore at the Bonfire by Night. And to crown them all, the awesome, majestic, mighty Victoria Falls, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, known in local language as Mosi-otunya, the smoke that thunders. A visit to Livingston is incomplete if it does not include this world-famous icon. Some call it Zambia, but we call it home. One Zambia, one destination, limitless exploring. Zambia, let's explore.
Zambia. Even saying the word is a multi-sensory experience. It somehow captures something of the essence of this special place in the warm heart of southern Africa. Take in the mighty Zambezi River, the majestic Victoria Falls that form Zambia's natural southern border, and the national parks overflowing with wildlife. Immerse yourself in the fast-growing towns and cities, teeming with history, light, and life. Then visit the vast lakes that seem to touch the stars and engage with a plethora of different ethnic groups, cultures, and languages. Together, they make up the intricately woven fabric of this remarkable country. To visit Zambia is to begin a love affair that will never be exhausted, and unlike any that you have ever experienced before. For all the superlatives that man has used in his attempts to describe Victoria Falls, none are able to do this incredible natural wonder justice. You have to see it for yourself. It is a truly awe-inspiring experience. Livingston, once Zambia's capital, and the Zambian side of the falls have become a mecca for discerning adventure tourists. Peer into the abyss from Devil's Pool at the edge of the falls. Career down the powerful rapids from Batoka Gorge in a whitewater raft. Bungee jump from the historic Victoria Falls Bridge. Or fly over the falls on a flight of angels. Whatever activity you choose, you'll be left with a renewed appreciation for the sheer might of nature. Kafue National Park is amongst the biggest in Africa and is home to more than 130 species of mammal and more than 400 bird species. Enjoy the wildlife from a different perspective on